What's up, guys? This is your KBF State Challenge Series captain's meeting for September, and I'm just going to jump right into it. So look, August was great. You guys absolutely crushed it, and I could not believe how many donkeys there were caught in the dog days of summer. So congratulations to all the winners and those that picked up some valuable Angler of the Year points and qualified for the championship down here in Huntsville coming up in October. All right, so quick overview for that. The Angler of the Year points is basically your best 3 individual month finishes by state at 600 points for the event with a 6-point decrement. The championship, however, is 900 points with a 9-point decrement. So if you come down to the championship and you do well, you could push your way into the 10 to compete for that $10,000, even if you don't think you've done that well throughout the season, because the championship is weighted. Last thing to also think about is if you don't have a snowball's chance of qualifying through the 10 itself, if you qualify for the championship and you come down and win the championship, you also win your way into the Dakota Lithium KBF the 10. So it's worth coming down to fish in the event, take home some money in the championship event, and potentially qualify to move into the 10 and compete for that $10,000 payout. In addition to that, it's a good opportunity to come down since you've also qualified for the KBF National Championship and learn the area and pre-fish for the National Championship taking place April 10th through the 12th in 2025. I want to go over a few things that have been an issue. We've never really had orientation issues. The fish has to be facing left, dorsal fin up, belly towards you, and we had 2 people last month that flipped the fish over. So again, just reiterate, that orientation is mandatory. The identifier has to be in the video, has to be clear, and it has to be unobstructed with the right code on it. So make sure you have the official KBF identifier. Make sure that it is clearly visible. A lot of people inadvertently put it in the middle of the board, and then when they get a big fish, the fish's back covers half of the identifier. So make sure that the identifier is completely unobstructed and clear. It's not just the code. We use that identifier for other things. So make sure that you move that ID holder and that you don't have the ID tucked in behind the fish. Definitely keep your hand out of the no-touch zone. That was a big one last month. And then probably the biggest one overall is people not having their location settings set correctly. So I'm going to link this up in the description box. I'll also make it a pinned comment, but the URL is kayakbassfishing.com/location. One thing we had last month is a few people that wanted to get bristled up and argue and fight. Oh, my settings haven't changed. I haven't done anything. This is screwed up. I don't have to do this on any other app. If you don't have to do this on any other app, they're just not checking locations, and there's really a chance that somebody can be catching fish in a farm pond and submitting them. And so we hold a really high standard for catch, photo, release integrity, and therefore we have to have the location and the EXIF data for the timestamp. One of the reasons that's important is if you get to a live event like the championship and you don't have your EXIF data set correctly and you catch a fish, let's say 10 minutes before lines out, and you submit it after lines out, if we don't have the EXIF data, we can't give you that photo because we can only go off of submission time. So keep that in mind. That's part of the reason we do this, but we also want to make sure that these fish are being caught in public waters. So if we reach out to you, if we send you a chat message or text, don't get all pissy and moan about it, because I'm not going to spend hours arguing with people in September, okay? It's a real simple setting. 99.999% of people have no problem with it, so it's not fishing chaos. It's not KBF. We don't want to spend time dealing with it any more than you do. So if you just relax, take a deep breath, sit down and go through the settings, you'll find out that it's pretty easy. Use the validate settings function and you'll know whether or not your photos are ready to go. And so again, and if you do have an issue, a lot of times we can just deny the fish. You change the settings, and then when you resubmit it, it'll be accepted because all the data is now shared with Fishing Chaos. So again, follow those steps at kayakbassfishing.com/location. You shouldn't have any problems. Please review the rules. One rule that for whatever reason we had a few deals with last month is that you have to be in the kayak and you have to take the photo in the kayak. So you have to be fishing from a kayak for the State Challenge Series. I know in the Knucklehead and the Catch-22, we don't require that because it's an exception, but the rules themselves state you must be in the kayak. So no pictures on the ground, no pictures on docks, things like that. The photo has to be taken from the kayak. So other than that, man, you guys crushed it last month. There was a lot of big fish caught. Good luck this month, and I hope to see you guys qualify and see y'all in Huntsville in October.